At the end of ijtihad, and we'll come back to spend time on this methodology. At the end of ijtihad, what the scholars want to do is to finally know how to classify our actions and things we say and things we do into 5 basic categories. How permissible or prohibited something is. So the first they were interested in is to decide, was something fard or wajib? Fard means what? Obligatory? Compulsory? Okay? Like what? Fasting in Ramadan? Sorry? The fard prayers? Good. So fard means it's compulsory, but there's a very important thing about this. There is a sin for omission. If you omit a fard, there's a sin. Okay? If you don't do it, there's a sin. This is very unique about fard. The second thing they want to decide is whether something is mustahab, also called mandub. And what's that? Recommended. It's good to do it, you are encouraged to do it, you have a reward for doing it, but there's no sin if you don't do it. The third category is what they call mubah, also called jaiz, which means it's okay to do it. It's neither encouraged nor discouraged. It's permitted. So this may be like your nafila prayers. Sometimes mustahab is called sunnah. Mubah would be whether you want to eat nasi lama or ikan bakar, or whether you'd like to eat durian, of course if you're not going to the mosque, I guess, or, you know, something else, pineapple. This is open. You want to do it, fine. If you don't do it, no problem. If you want to do something else, it's all under mubah. Fourth one is makruh. Discouraged, but tolerated. It's not very good to do, but there is no sin for committing it. Yeah. It is recommended to avoid it. So the opposite of makruh is mustahab. And the fifth one, haram, means forbidden. The key thing about haram, sin for commission. So there's a sin if you commit haram. There's a sin if you omit wajib or fard. Who puts a sin on something? When you say something has a sin, what do we mean? There's punishment? Who punishes? Ustaz? Who punishes? Allah. Yeah. So if you're going to say there's a sin for omitting something or sin for committing something, you must have something tangible from Allah in the Quran or through the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah. So if you're going to say something is fard or haram, you need evidence. You can't just say, I don't like it, I think it is haram. No. Haram, it's not by I think. Haram, you're going to be speaking in God's name. You're attributing something to Allah or through the Prophet ﷺ. And so if we're going to compare, we would say the opposite of fard is what? Haram, good. And the opposite of haram? Good, fard. You know, usually we say the opposite of haram is halal. Okay? Which is true. This is forbidden, but all of this is allowed. Okay? This is haram and this is halal, all of it. But if we look at the halal more carefully, some are compulsory, recommended, merely permissible, discouraged. That's the haram, halal category, and then haram has this. So for our purpose, the opposite of haram, more technically, is what is fard or wajib. But for some scholars, they put 7 values. For some scholars, like in the Hanafi, this is not enough to capture the variety of fatwas you want to give. Are you going to say it's haram, or makruh, or jaiz, or mustahab, or wajib? For the Hanafis, they add another one here, so we call this one 1B. They do not put wajib here, they put wajib as between fard and mustahab. And down here, they divide makruh. There's makruh that they call tanzihi, and there's another makruh here they would call tahrimi. So in between makruh, you know, these 5 that we did before, this is the opinion of the Malikis, the Shafis, and the Hanbalis. But the Hanafis, instead of 5, they have 7. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, 6, and 7. For the Hanafis, wajib is compulsory, and there's a sin for doing wajib. So what's the difference between wajib and fard? For the Hanafis, wajib is when the evidence does not give absolute certainty. Where the ayah is not too clear, the hadith may not be, from their opinion, as strong as the Quran or mutawatir. So for example, for the Hanafis, if a single chain hadith, which is an ahad or khabar wahid, a single chain hadith with just 1, 2 chains, for example, says something is haram, the Hanafis will not say it's haram. They will say it's makruh tahrimi. And if that hadith is saying something is fard, they will not say it's fard, they will say it's wajib. So for the Hanafis, they distinguish between this, and we will see later why that is sometimes useful in some cases. So, before we wipe this, the most important point I'd like us to remember is at the end of all the fatwa that people want to give, they really want to decide, is something fard or wajib, mustahab, mubah, makruh, whether makruh tanzihi or tahrimi or haram. In the Hanafi, makruh tanzihi is the same as the makruh of the other madhabs. Yeah. Makruh tahrimi is haram, but not with the certainty that haram would have.